And if I win, it's not just a justice for just my child, it's for all the children that they shut down.
We're hearing from a mother who says her child was physically assaulted at a local preschool. Coming up, we'll have the latest on the investigation.
And today is going to be a hot one, especially in the River Valley. Could see heat indices reach the triple digits. And then for tomorrow, maybe a chance of severe weather. We'll talk about that coming up in your full forecast.
In Arkansas, politicians are responding to the violent attacks against lawmakers in Minnesota. This morning, we're taking a look at the history of threats to political figures.
But first, we're taking a live look outside in Rogers. Good morning to you there. That sun looking good today. 5 News This Morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Hey, good Tuesday morning. Rise and shine. We hope you're off to a great start. I feel like we're off to a great start today. These guys have been yawning all morning. I don't know what's wrong with them.
I was yawning even in between headlines.
Oh, you were, yeah. So we fixed her with some coffee. Danny's awake now. We're ready to go.
I was saying maybe I need like a little cold tub of water just to dip my head.
There we go.
Stick your head in there.
That might help.
Do that, or maybe just walk outside because it is sticky. It's not very comfortable out there. So that might get the brain stimulated a little bit. You can see as well a little bit of fog, although the fog is kind of making me sleepy as well. So maybe we should change the scene. But you're noticing that in downtown Fayetteville, pretty reduced visibility there. And again, it's not everywhere. You can see Fort Smith, some reduced visibility as well. Bentonville not looking too shabby. Ozark, maybe a little bit along the river there, but not too shabby. Poto and Springdale not looking too bad as well. Again, it's in some areas. You can see Fayetteville down to 0 mile visibility as well as Fort Smith, the 2 cameras. But otherwise, across the region, not too shabby. So again, along and east to I-49 is where the brunt of it is going to be. We've been watching this complex of showers and storms. You can see some severe weather potential north central Oklahoma. But you notice it's moving pretty slowly, only about maybe 20 to 30 miles per hour, and it has been gradually weakening as it's moving. So again, by the time it reaches here, it's not going to be on the strong severe side. But what we are watching for is potential strong severe storms going to be Wednesday afternoon and evening from about 3 to 11 p.m. Could see some strong winds as the primary threat, as well as large hail and maybe a brief tornado. So make sure they'll have those way to get those warnings. And of course, to download the 5 News Plus app. We'll have that full forecast coming up for you in just a little bit. For now, we'll take a look at traffic here. We'll go along I-49 at mile marker 59. And as we've been talking about, any low-lying areas, you're really just along I-49. We've been seeing some areas of fog, so just be mindful of that as you're walking out the door. Again, we'll have that complete forecast for you in terms of the severe weather hazards and how hot it'll be this weekend coming up in your full forecast. Joe and Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, developing this morning, President Trump cut his trip to the G7 in Canada short, returning to Washington overnight.
The White House citing the conflict between Israel and Iran as the reason for the early departure. In a social media post, the president said his early exit does not have to do with ceasefire negotiations, adding that it's, quote, much bigger than that. Now, the U.S. and Israel say they want to stop Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon, though the U.S. has indicated it has no interest in getting involved in the military offensive. For weeks, President Trump has pushed Iran to re-enter talks on its nuclear program.
I think a deal will be signed, or something will happen, but a deal will be signed. And I think Iran is foolish not to sign one.
Well, this morning, Israel saying it has killed another top Iranian military official. Israeli officials have defended the strikes as necessary to curtail Iran's nuclear program.
Well, the fight over the deployment of the National Guard in California heads back to the courtroom today. This comes after President Donald Trump federalized troops in response to protests in Los Angeles over recent immigration raids. That move was blocked last week by a federal judge, only for the decision to be quickly reversed by an appeals court. Today, a 3-judge panel will hear the dispute between the president and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Well, the man suspected of gunning down a Minnesota lawmaker and wounding another is facing state and federal charges, including murder.
57-year-old Vance Belter arrested Sunday near his Minneapolis area home. Now, Belter made an initial court appearance Monday facing charges in the shooting death of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband in their home. During the rampage early Saturday, authorities say Belter, disguised as a police officer, first drove up to State Senator John Hoffman's home, where he shot and wounded Hoffman and his wife. Prosecutors say Belter went to the homes of 2 more lawmakers on the night of the shootings. One was away on vacation. The suspect left the other home after police approached him, believing he was an officer.
It is a frightening time we are living in. Political violence is prevalent, and the way we talk to and about each other has raised the temperature to unfathomable levels.
Authorities say they recovered 5 additional firearms from the suspect's vehicle and a notebook with more than 45 lawmakers' names. State Senator Hoffman and his wife survived the shooting. They remain in the hospital.
Meanwhile, lawmakers here in Arkansas are responding to the recent events in Minnesota. State Senator Kim Hammer says that there is zero tolerance for these attacks. He says that he feels safe inside the Capitol thanks to law enforcement there, but when lawmakers go home, that protection is not the same.
The individuals that were killed, they were in the privacy of their home, and it does certainly sound the wake-up call that we have to be diligent.
Threats to our state's political figures are not a new thing in the natural state. Notably, in 2008, a gunman shot and killed former state Senator Bill Gwatney. The shooter, Timothy Johnson, died after a car chase and shootout with police. Then in 2019, family found former Republican state Senator Linda Collins Smith was stabbed in her driveway. A former campaign worker, Rebecca O'Donnell, would later plead guilty to her murder. Well, convicted killer Grant Hardin is due in court today. The hearing will focus on the escape from the state prison near Calico Rock. Hardin spent nearly 2 weeks on the run until search teams were able to track him down, hiding in the national forest about 1.5 miles from the prison. The state prison board also announced last week that it's launching its own internal investigation into how the escape happened.
And we're following some developments from Fort Smith police about a shooting that left one person critically injured. Now, this was over the weekend, where police say 3 people have been arrested now in connection with the shooting. A news release confirming Anthony Don Nichols and Austin Lee Williams, both charged with first-degree battery with a firearm. Katie Magnus also charged with hindering apprehension. The shooting was around 11 Sunday night on Zero Street. Officers say they arrived to find a 32-year-old woman shot in the chest. Police arrested the suspects Monday morning, though, after serving a search warrant at a home on South 17th. All 3 are being held right now at the Sebastian County Jail. Well, Alma police confirmed that they're investigating child abuse allegations against a former teacher. The school serves children with developmental disabilities.
Right now, we are not naming the teacher because the investigation is ongoing, and she's not facing formal charges at this time. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis spoke to the mom of the 4-year-old child.
I was angry. I was shaking so bad because everything in me just wanted to wreak havoc. Like, I wanted to flip out, but I couldn't. I had to keep my composure because I'm all my kids got.
Stepping Stone School in Alma is a preschool designed for children with developmental disabilities. Ariel Bentley says her 4-year-old son, Drako, who attended the school, has a speech impediment but is well aware of his surroundings.
I picked him up from school, and one of the teachers brought him out, and he starts blabbing away. And the teacher's like, "You can talk?" I said, "Yes, he can talk."
During that car ride, May 15th, Bentley says her son told her a teacher assaulted him, kicking him 3 times. Bentley says she saw video surveillance of the incident. She says the teacher was noticeably frustrated with her son.
You can see her just kick, kick, kick 3 times really fast. I think it was harder than they thought it was. It does look like she kicked him pretty hard.
Bentley says the school fired the teacher, but would not give her a copy of the footage because another child could be seen in the video. She says the school originally agreed to have their IT team crop the child out of the footage, but never followed through. I reached out to Stepping Stone for an interview. After initially agreeing, Stepping Stone later chose to respond with a written statement that reads in part, "Stepping Stone has strict policies and procedures to protect our children. The staff is provided training upon hiring, annually, and as needed regarding appropriate, acceptable interactions with children. Video surveillance of the incident will not be released due to the confidentiality of others." Now Bentley has filed a police report with hopes Alma PD can subpoena the footage.
I want to sue them for how they've acted, and if I win, it's not just a justice for just my child, it's for all the children that they shut down, the ones that they shut down their voice to.
Well, Bentley says even though the teacher was fired, she pulled her son out of the school. Now, we asked Alma PD for the police report. The chief says they can't release it to us as it is an open investigation. He also says their findings will be turned over to the Crawford County Prosecutor's Office. Well, today the Fort Smith Board of Directors will vote on a new sewer rate schedule for the town of Arcoma. Earlier this month, Fort Smith directors decided to temporarily pause a major increase in sewer bills. Now the board is looking at 2 options for raising rates. Arcoma's vice mayor saying the town has been working to manage its wastewater debt. But some on the board have said a rate hike is necessary to avoid subsidizing the smaller town.
Well, the Diamond Hogs are still alive at the College World Series, thanks in part to a historic pitching performance. It was win or go home for the Razorbacks as they took on Murray State for a chance to stay in Omaha for at least one more night. Well, starter Gage Wood collected 19 strikeouts on his way to throwing a no-hitter, just the third in College World Series history. Meanwhile, the Hogs put up 3 runs on offense as they topped Murray State 3-0. And we don't know yet who the Hogs will be playing next. It will either be LSU or UCLA. That game was suspended due to weather last night, but it is set to resume this morning at 10. The Hogs will then take on the loser of that one tonight. That will be at 6 on ESPN. Well, some 5 News viewers are in Omaha this week cheering on the Hogs. They sent us these pictures. We love to see them. We wish we were in Omaha as well. So live it up for us here at 5 News. And hey, cheer those Hogs to victory. Well, if you want to show us how you're supporting the Hogs during this time, whether you're in Omaha or you're watching from home, just send us your photos to the number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000. And we'll continue to show those as long as the Hogs are still in the College World Series.